Richie, you're on the back foot or on the front foot? I think we're getting ready to. Shortly after. Here. And welcome back here to the Lassiter playing field. And for viewers, just to let you know, we had a torrential downpour of rain, and that thwarted an early start. So a bit of adjustment in regards to the overs, and to let you know that the game is reduced to 5 overs a piece, sorry, and just a 1 over of power play. Nutmeg Warriors will be taking strike. Here's the first ball. Andre Fletcher faces up to Narayan off the back foot and hits it out to squarish cover. Doesn't score. So 5 overs. I think will be all guns blazing. Ashley, good afternoon.
Definitely so. It will be all guns blazing. 5 overs. You have to get at this maximum 80 possible. 100 could be possible.
Interesting that.
Very interesting.
Here is Narayan, Biker Narayan. I think it's the right person really to bowl this power play, because he is such an experienced bowler. He's rather meticulous with his field placing, making sure that everyone is exactly where he wants them to be. That's important. Even the keeper himself making whatever little adjustment, Benjamin, there should be. It's a little dull, bit dark here, but with the sort of rain that really fell, some of the spectators may have just left thinking that there won't be any further play. But indeed, it's going to be a 5 over a piece contest. Seem to be some issues out there. We don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is. Umpire signal dead ball, the first delivery.
Yes, there seemed to be a signal of a dead ball for the first delivery. Don't know why. But let's get on with the game. It's already late. We've lost 5 overs per team, so let's get ready with the game. There's going to be some dialogue between the umpires. Again, it doesn't make sense we try to determine from here. We're about 110 yards away, so we can't really say what the situation is. So Nutmeg Warriors coming up against Bay Leaf Blasters. On the scoreboard, it suggests that 1 delivery has been bowled. But there's some sort of controversy really, and the 2 umpires just having a bit of discussion. I think they finally have come to some sort of agreement, and we're going to get going now, I reckon.
There are a lot of dialogue taking place.
Okay, so we're just being told that they needed the game to hang on to be paused for 3 minutes. Whether there's some, we don't know all the details. So all the players need to do basically is hang on until the umpire says it's time to play. It's interesting, actually, because way before the first ball was bowled, Andre Fletcher and Dijon Charles had gone out there even
Yes.
before
Yes.
the rest of the fielders had gone onto the field of play.
So I'm thinking now, based on this, if it's not anything to do with this, that they have started too early.
Yeah, could well have been. But did the umpire give the signal to start the game?
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what it is. It just looks a little senseless out there, though. I think we're going to get ready to start now. Yeah, there is some communication with outside. Now, if the game is going to start at 4:35, for example, they would not want to start it at 4:30 or 4:33. You've got to start it at the exact time, and maybe that's what's going on out there. So it's about playing and sticking to the rules, so to speak, or the conditions to the T. Umpire Peters at the standing end, and I think they're going to get ready to start now.
So it's just about 4:35 now.
Still wondered why that first delivery was bowled. So they're going to start. This is going to be officially the first ball of the only one power play. Here is Narayan in to bowl to Fletcher, and Fletcher lifts that over to the mid-wicket area, and they don't go for the single. I don't think he'd be very happy with that. I think he would be disappointed with the result of that shot. Fletcher.
Just maybe playing just a little bit too early. Big gap there for Fletcher, and he knows that he liked that area.
Narayan to Fletcher, hits that in the air, slides off the bat. The catch is going to be taken. Oh, yes, he has taken the catch. He did, in fact, juggle with it a bit, and finally he took it. So, well, a bit of a anticlimax there. So here is a full toss, wide delivery rather, outside the off stump, hit over the out to cover, juggled once, juggled twice, and then finally dismiss. So Nutmeg Warriors not having the best start with the key player and captain in Fletcher, caught at cover there and gone without scoring.
Yeah, ball that was kind of wide outside the off stump, and Fletcher throwing the bat at it. Very experienced and smart bowler in Narayan, knowing that he had miscued it through, looking to get one through mid-wicket. He did not get it. So Narayan just bowling a little wider of the crease. That's Andrew making his way in. And the fielder taking the catch. We just missed him for a little while.
So Andrew, Javon Andrew will replace Fletcher. Michael Narayan has picked up a wicket with what should be his first ball. Second ball, I beg your pardon. So he's going to move in out to bowl to Andrew. Here he is. Outside the off stump. Just going straight on, no lateral movement. Benjamin collects behind the stumps. This is a very interesting match.
Very, very much so in the context.
Yeah. These batsmen, they've got to go hard.
I guess this is what Fletcher was trying to do very early.
Again, outside the off stump. Well, really, you would think that Andrew would try to go across and cut rather than trying to pull outside the off stump. He's probably asking the umpire if that wasn't too wide. It certainly was not too wide.
Not at all by the umpire standard. So Dwayne Walcott was the man who juggled that catch with Fletcher.
Onto the back foot and smacked it back past the bowler. So this is a fine over, just a 1 run coming off the over so far by Narain. And it's going to be now Charles taking strike. It's going to be helter skelter, really.
Yes, touch and go.
So here is Charles facing up to Narain. This is going to be the last delivery of the over. Can he make something out of it? Turns it down to backward square. This is going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. Nice shot. It was drifting down the leg side, and he just came inside the line, Charles, and turned it neatly, used the wrist, and worked it nicely down to backward square and picked up 4. So the over coming to an end, and at the end of the first over, it's 5. Sorry, that's 5 without loss.
So it was absolutely magnificent timing and placement by Charles, looking at the ball, keeping his eyes on the ball quite a lot, head over the ball steady, and really discharging it to the boundary. Micah just slightly offline, and we're going to see that's Blash, Calvin Blash. He's going to pick up.
And he'll be moving into Andrew, who has already faced 3 deliveries. This could be a thriller.
Yes, the Bayleaf Blasters are going to trying to use their bowlers very smartly. With the first over 5 runs, we can say that's a well bowled over, picking up 1 wicket.
Here is Blash into Andrew. He's off the back foot and cutting well, just behind square on the offside. And that has gone away to the boundary for 4. Didn't try to hit it too hard. The timing was good. Just eased onto the back foot, sinked, went deep into the crease, and executed that through the offside for 4. Fine shot.
Stevenson, one observation quickly is that the outfield is very hard.
Yes.
Where that ball had fallen and bounced and rolled up the hill and then still came back down. It shows that the outfield is hard.
Yeah, it really went across the turf rather quickly. Outside the off stump. And it was Andrew losing shape, really. Rather than looking to carve the ball through the offside, looking to heave it over mid-wicket, with the right pad going deep in the crease outside the off stump.
Lots of anxious moments outside there now.
Blanche to Andrew. Andrew is hitting that back past the bowler and goes down to the long off position, and they get a single. That was in the air, but it was hit very hard indeed to the left of the bowler. Couldn't turn that into a catch, but they got just a single. Ooh, and that was very close to. Ooh, that was close. I think they'll have another look at that, won't they?
Yes, I think.
Well, seemed to be okay. 10 for 1 in over number 2. Blanche this time to bowl to Charles. Charles is lifting that high and hard. It's going, and it's gone. Over long on. Well, he got to the pitch of it and lifted it handsomely. And that's a huge hit over long on. It's a Carib power hit maximum.
Again, Charles coming in, and you can see, I like his style. Hand and eye coordination is very, very smart. Times it well and placing it well.
Yeah, fine shot.
Still another look. Maybe he had thrown the ball back inside during that time.
He is
It's
going
gone again.
airborne again. Shall it go all the way? Yes. It's gone all the way and clean. About 15 yards over the boundary line. Hit the pavilion there where the spectators are. And it was still going. So that's a mammoth hit. Ginormous. And it went all the way. Fine shot.
Well,
So 2 consecutive sixes.
2 consecutive sixes. I was just about to say, it seems that Charles is enjoying a party with Carib.
Oh, yes. Carry power hit. Here is Blanche again. Roughed up here. Bowls to Charles. Shorter again. In the air. Does this have sufficient carry? It does
Yes.
have sufficient carry. And it's gone again for another carry power hit maximum. 3 consecutive sixes. This one was short. He rocked onto the back foot and lifted it. Beautiful shot. And it went over the long off boundary for 6.
Well, the Warriors cannot ask for a better over than that. The second over, 23 runs coming from it. And Charles is, 22 or 4 deliveries.
Wow, that's power hitting. And he did it as cool and as calculated and easy as ever. The timing, in my
Timing.
opinion, is what really stood out with those shots that he hit. In fact, culminating in boundaries.
So Dante Alexander, a tall, medium fast bowler from St. Mark, is going to take up the attack.
And he's going to bowl to Andrew. Here he is. Andrew gets a short delivery that he seeks to uppercut. Maybe Andrew could be advised, try to time it. You just get the impression that he wants to hit too hard.
Too hard, yeah, definitely so. Timing.
Time the ball. Don't lose your shape. All of those are important features of batting.
Just playing basic cricket all the time. Doesn't matter what format you play.
Alexander once more to Andrew, who is cutting in the air. Fine shot. That will go all the way. It does.
Definitely so. A much better timing.
Maximum.
Andrew.
Yeah, it's gone for a carry power hit maximum. Onto the back foot. It was short,
Yeah.
rising. Look at it. Onto the back foot. Lifted it over. And it went sailing over the backward point. Straightish third man. 6 runs. Scorers raced to 34 for 1.
Looking at the ball much longer. That's what Andrew did this time. And that's what he needs to be doing in this game situation.
Alexander again to Andrew. And Andrew is tugging that out to the mid-wicket area. They've hustled for 1. They won't come back for the second. It's a lot of bottom hand into that one and hit it hard into the ground. The timing was not great, but they got 1. He's moved on to 13.
Yes, a delivery that hustled back into him and taking it high on the bat.
So 7 have come off 3. Brings Charles now back into strike. He is 22 of 4. It's been a sparkling, aggressive innings. He's galloped. Alexander to Charles. Down the leg side, wide, confirmed by the umpire. It wasn't a bad delivery.
No, not a bad delivery at all. And this young man is using his head. Seem to be using his head well outside of there, knowing that the more that Charles in, he's going to dig it in short. And not a bad delivery. It's only because it's 10-10, it's called a wide Stevenson.
Yeah, it's very close to the batsman's body. Tucked him up, turns that down to long leg, will get a single. As Blanche comes off the boundary and hurls the return to the keeper. Not cleanly collected, just ricocheted and goes out on the outside. Narayan, of course, just went across to Alexander and maybe just gave him a word of advice. Veteran. And, of course, the skipper.
Always a thinking man on the field. Bowl him.
Oh, fantastic delivery. Yorker right up into the block hole. And Andrew was looking maybe to hit that back past the bowler. And it was a swift delivery. Knocked the middle stump back and the bail spattered. Wonderful delivery. Right up in the block hole.
He had a little bit of movement into the batsman also that maybe have beaten the bat and caused his demise.
And it just tells you how important it is to bowl wicket to wicket.
Yes, definitely so.
Yeah. Sometimes bowlers do spray it about the place. And don't get me wrong, because there are times when you, according to the situation of the game, you'd want to spray it a little bit and ask the batsman to reach for it outside the off stump. And that's understood. But when you bowl wicket to wicket, you have so many things come into play. Catches, leg before, bowled. All of those are featured.
And maybe you can include run out too.
Well.
So the new batsman in Kyle Ramdu, that's the Trinidadian?
Yeah, so he's got one delivery in this over. We're in over number 3. Rather dark conditions that they're playing in now. It's really dull. I think the advantage is the Warriors because they'll have clearer light than when the Blasters are going to bat. Final delivery that he looks to get inside the line and lift it down to long leg. So the over comes to an end.
Yes, the over comes to an end.
And after 3 overs, it's 37 for 2 Nutmeg Warriors.
Well, I think it was a good call back there to the run scoring by Dante picking up the wicket and just for 9 runs. They remember that the second over went for 23 and Dante pulling it back a little bit, picking up a wicket and only 9 runs. So the Nutmeg Warriors still has to check their move from here on.
Yeah,
and
they certainly would want to get up to around 55, 60.
Yes, definitely so. As the new bowler, Ramnat, is going to pick up from the pavilion end.
He's into Charles. Charles gets a wayward delivery that he dispatched down to backward square for 4.
Well,
badly lined delivery.
Badly lined.
Onto the back foot he went and just used the tide and the risk. And from the moment he hit it, it was going to be 4 all the way. Fine shot. And that's what good players do. Capitalize on loose deliveries. Punish them. And that one was punishable.
Most definitely, as the old saying goes, you play what you see.
So we just had a dismissal. We just lost that. No, what really happened though?
The
Did he
batsman
hit? Did
is making his way out.
he hit wicket?
We did not pick up this one.
Oh,
Let's
let's
see. Goes across there.
May have hit wicket. We're not too sure really. We're a little bit baffled here. So anyway, they've lost another wicket. Nutmeg Warriors, they're 41 for 3. And Daniel McDonald has come in. He could hit the ball hard.
Yes, he can do so, but he's nursing some fingers there earlier on.
From nothing now and would bowl to McDonald, who is lifting that high, hard. It's gone all the way. 6 runs. Carry power hit maximum. First ball he faced, we did say he can hit the ball hard. And he went under that one and lifted it high and hard. Went very high, I must admit, and with sufficient distance over the long on area. And that was 6. Outside the off stump, this one might be catchable, airborne. Somebody goes under it, goes over again. Well, that's 6 more. Just wondered whether that could not have been a greater effort, really. Down on the boundary line. Let's look at it again. Stayed a long time in the air. And it's coming down now. Oh, just one of those catches. Even if he had taken it, it just may have carried him over.
Yes.
Yeah.
The momentum would have carried him over.
Don't chide him. Don't be too hard on him.
But this time he goes.
Narayan taking the catch.
Yes. McDonald going, caught by Narayan of Ramnath.
Well, the thing is, he would argue that, look, I came out, I hit a couple hefty blows, and is, if I get 12 of 3, it's better than getting 15 of 6.
Yes, I think his job has been completed. He did. So the ball, the batsman who we were wondering what happened, the ball hit the ball inside edge and the ball went onto the leg stump slide, knocking the bails off.
Okay, just wondered whether he was hit wicket. So he played the inside edge and was bowled.
So Nyron Belfon, a big hitter, comes in to replace the batsman in Daniel.
Yes, everything is going fast and furious. This one is lifted over the mid-off area, extra cover area. And that has gone all the way for another Carib power hit maximum, 6 runs. So they're really traveling on. 4 overs gone, 59 for 4. And with 1 over to go, they must be now thinking at least about 72, 73.
Most definitely. So Ramnath picking up 2 wickets, but going for 23 runs. It's quite a lot of runs in this over.
Yes.
All day picking up the wicket. Second most expensive over thus far. And according to you, they should be looking to project the score in the 70s, 80s, the final over. You got to have the guts, got to keep your eyes on the ball, and you got to keep good shapes.
Yeah, so the current run rate, 14.75. They would certainly want to get up to over 15. At this rate, they're going to score 74. That's the projected score. So Ramnath picked up 2 for 22, but very expensive.
Very expensive.
Is this a good enough total? Just seen a bit of an was there a bit of an adjustment to the score?
So it seems that is Dwayne Walcott.
Hits that back past the bowler and they get one. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes in. And not a good work there. They got to where conventionally there would be just one.
Definitely so. Not good work at all. Look at it again.
Push back past the bowler. Now, when the fielder reached the ball,
He bobbled with it on the ground.
yes, but when the fielder reached the ball, they were just completing the first run. They decided they needed two. Interesting. Pulled high and hard over the mid-wicket area, and that's gone all the way for carry power maximum. Well, he launched a severe hit over mid-wicket. Well hit, clubbered.
Stevenson looking at that shot. This is a very bold shot. Very, very bold indeed. Kept his eyes on it and just picked his spot and had a good swing. Good, nice bat swing.
Yes. Well, it's now gone to 67 for 4. Ramdu is 8 of 3. Niran Belfon had a maximum. One scoring shot, one delivery is faced. 67 for 4. This is the final over. They've gone past. They're into the 15 as current run rate. Wayward delivery outside the off stump, wide, confirmed by the umpire. So they're scoring at 15.69. At the end of this over, if they're up to 16, it's going to take a real effort on the part of Bailey Blasters to blast their way through this one.
Well, they will have to be blasting. That's all they have to be doing.
That one sliced off and dropped down at the shortish third man. And they got one.
Yes, they got one.
So, 79, just 3 balls remaining in this 5-over-a-side encounter. The allotment reduced because of a great downpour, almost deluge-like. So reduced to 5 over per side. Walcott bowls and looking to swing.
I guess the keeper should have had that in mind also, that the batsman, once they miss, they're gonna look for the single.
Yes. Some keepers tend to peel off
Yes.
the right glove and keep with the left one on. In the event that you need to throw, you don't have to peel off to throw. Benjamin has kept his own on. One that is hit this time in the air and the catch taken as he was really looking to force that.
Dana George taking a catch.
Yeah, good catch too.
Yes.
Took it just maybe over the shoulder, splicing off the bat, went very high, and running back, yes, very good catch. Kept his eyes on the ball always. And so another wicket has fallen. Just a 1 ball to go. 70 for 5. And it will be the final delivery coming up.
Well, I guess he may be telling him, even if you miss, we gotta run.
You're right. Kelly Sandrew joins Niran Belfon, and he's going to face only one legal delivery. Whatever happens, they're going to run for this. Or get a maximum, or 4. Outside the off stump, they go to for a single. And they will go back for the second run. And they get 2. Wide signal by the umpire. I thought quite rightly too. It was wide outside the off stump. belatedly by the umpire, but he had to also look the umpire to position himself in case there was going to be a run out. So good umpiring there by Peters.
Good umpiring.
So one more ball to go. In essence, they got 3 of that previous delivery. Bowled by Walcott. He's in once more. And it's a short one that is pulled down to backward square and goes all the way for 4. So what a way to climax the innings. It was a short delivery, took it from outside the off stump and pulled it well, Andrew, down to the backward square boundary, 4 runs. So Nutmeg Warriors, they've scored 77 for 5 of 5 with a run rate of 15.40. And well, this is going to be, it's going to really take a good hammering on the part of the Bay Leaf Blasters to blast the way through that total. It won't be easy. So Narayan started very well, picked up 1 wicket, the prize wicket of Fletcher, 1 for 5, 1 for 9 went to Alexander, bowled very well. Expensive there was Ramnot, who picked up 2 for 22, and Walcott had 1 for 17. 77 for 5 of the allotted 5 overs that were bowled, 6 extras in the process.
So actually about 15.5 runs they have to be scoring at Bay Leaf Blasters to blast their way to that 77 runs. They have to be really at it and ensure that they continue with some momentum if they really have to get there.
Dejon Charles scored 27 of 7. He really got the innings going. Andrew supported a bit there with 13 from 10. Had a few shots that he never really pulled off, missed outside the off stump. Daniel McDonald, a quick fire 12 of 3 deliveries. That was a very important knock. It was short, cameo, but important. Belfort not out 6, and Kellis Andrew, who hit the last delivery for 4, all contributed for a final total of 77 for 5. And so the Bay Leaf Blasters will have to score 78 for victory at a run rate of about 15.40.
Well, somebody have to have a cameo outside there. And the Nutmeg Warriors, as warrior as they are out there already and they're getting themselves warmed up. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Bay Leaf Blasters really blast their way to 77 in the 5 overs.
Yes, the first over was not very productive on the part of Nutmeg Warriors, only 5 runs, and also lost the prize wicket of Andrew Fletcher. I think at that time, Bay Leaf Blasters might well have felt, look, we're in for more than a chance. And but you know, that's the game of cricket.
The second over, I thought that really gave them confidence. 23 runs of the second over.
Yes, Charles really belted them straight, couple of 6s, and it really was in the end a couple of cameos, and that is a very good total. I would say 77 for 5.
Yes, it's a very good total. The way they bounce back, they're really a warring team. They're at it, they're motivated, and they put everything into what they have to do. I think that the approach they're batting this afternoon to get to 77 of the 5 overs, knowing the first over was an over that they had to struggle through. But they'll be looking to get very early wickets, and I think once they start getting wickets, we're going to see a very exciting match here this afternoon.
I think one of the great innovations of the game was the advent of the white ball. And if this were the traditional red ball, it would have been so very difficult to bat. But with the white ball against a darkish background or darkish setting. That, of course, makes it a bit easier. Not that it's easier, not that it's that easy, because it's become darker than
Darker,
it was
definitely so.
30 minutes ago.
But you got to keep your eyes on the white kookaburra. You got to do that all the time.
Sure, right. So, $77 for 5. That's what they finally ended with. And they're in a huddle. The umpire's already out. And this game is going to get on the way shortly. It didn't look, Raphael, earlier on as though we would have a shortened, abbreviated match. But we've got one here, which is turning out maybe into a thriller.
Yes, it can very well be. And we look at the amount of rain that we got, never expected that. Probably would have had any more cricket for the rest of the day. But again, it speaks to the quality of this facility. 78 in 5 overs. A bit of a tall order.
Yes, it is. But the Blasters will want to go hard, if not from ball 1, but at least from the first over. They've got to go hard. And they don't want the first over like what Nutmeg Warriors got, just 5 runs from it. At the end of the first, they want to be about 14. And if it's 14 without loss, better yet.
It also tells you, how important it is to keep your wicket. Just 5 in the first over, and they still ended up with 77 for 5. Which means they would have scored 72 in the last 4 overs.
Belfont will be opening the attack. He's going to be bowling to Kotoy. And the umpire has said, play. Here's the first ball. Well, not bowled. Belfont will go back. These are 2 good strikers of the ball. Left-handed Kotoy and Dylan Douglas. Niran Belfont will want to be very, very accurate here. Moves in to bowl to Kotoy. Here he is. And Kotoy is... Oh, he's dropped the catch! First delivery, pushed back tentatively by Kotoy. And Belfont coming forward. He grabbed at it with hard hands. This is on the follow through. Yes, grab, and then fell out. Made about 3 attempts to get it. He has to be rather upset with himself. It could have been something of a hero, Raphael.
Yes, he was a bit surprised with that ball coming back there. It was a slow delivery ball by Belfont. So he started well, and I think Kotoy was only into the shot and played it back, and just was not able to hold on.
So he's moving in again to bowl to Kotoy. Kotoy is lifting that over the infield and is going to run away to the boundary, pull back just inside. They come back for the second, the return from Olive, as they get 2. That ball was chased down. And you're going to see every effort. All of these players going to be stretching their muscles and utilizing every ounce of energy they've got to defend this or to overhaul it, as the case may be. Belfont to Kotoy, looking to hit a short rising delivery, as Belfont is almost approaching the batsman and his follow through. Aggressive intent.
Yeah, they will have to continue that aggressive intent if they're going to get up to that score. It therefore means, Cotter and one of the senior players, Windward Islands player, and he would be looking to really
onto the pad. Good delivery. Just choking. Kotoy was onto the back foot and maybe looking to turn that out on the onside, but it wasn't a short delivery. It was just a good length delivery. Didn't give him the room to free his arms, and it wasn't pitched up enough for a drive or a clip. Just the right pitch. Well bowled.
Yeah, good start by Belfont. Seemed to be hitting really a good line. Unfortunate not to return cat, but has been there and thereabout.
This one is driven high and hard. The catch is going to be taken. And so Kotoy goes. Just wondered whether it maybe took more the bottom part of the bat outside the off stump, reaching for it, and it went in the air, and in the end, taken there by Fletcher, easy at extra cover, and first wicket going down in the first over, as was done when the Nutmeg Warriors batted, and ironically, the person taking the catch was the one who was dismissed in the first over, Fletcher.
Yes, and good bowling by Belfont. Again, he kept it just a bit wide of the off. So in one sense, probably would have taken some piece off of that delivery. Kotoy really didn't have much choice, would have to go for it, and seemingly hit the bottom of the bat and went down to mid-off, and long off rather. Fletcher in that position took a simple catch. So
Micah Narain comes out. Takes a leg stump guard. Belfont, who's been successful in this over, has got his last delivery coming up and moves in to bowl to Narain. Narain gets a delivery down the leg side, confirmed as a wide. Certainly want to end good here. Belfont and Narain would want to capitalize on anything that is loose. I think he sort of missed out there. Although there is, just looking to see if there's a fine leg. Yes, there is one. This time he is pulling that down to fine leg. That's going to go over the boundary line. 4 runs. Slanting down the leg side, wayward delivery. And onto the back foot he went and lifted it, Narain, and went down to fine leg for 4. So that completes the over 7 coming off it. 1 over. And the Bayleaf Blasters, they're 7 for 1.
yes, well, Narain there probably didn't get it as he intended, but I think the result is what he wanted. He was looking to hit it a bit squarer. Again, it seemed to be a slow delivery. It seemed to have taken high upon the gloves and went over the keeper's head and down to the boundary for 4. But it has been a very good over bowl there by Belfont, picking up 1 wicket in his first over. So not a bad start here for the...
So here is Dylan Douglas's opportunity. Josh Thomas will move into bowl to him. You've got to go hard. Wayward delivery down the leg side. No ball signaled by the umpire. So he's guilty of overstepping.
Yeah, you'd want to see a better over. Josh Thomas, as we would have known yesterday, didn't bowl the best of his first over. It went for 23. He will want to...
Lives that, has gone high in the air, and it's going to go down to the long off area. Didn't cue it all that well, but they got 2. The other good thing about it, it was hit a rather rather straight, very high, but didn't carry to the long off or long on field, or did it?
Well, it actually did. It was a no ball, and Fletcher quickly looking to try to get a run out, but
Good delivery, right up in the block hole. And just managed to squeeze it out. Got one.
yeah, what is important, you are keeping things very tight, not allowing the Bailey Blasters to really get off to the quick start which they would need if they're going to get to that score.
Thomas. Good delivery. Narayan just wondered why they didn't really travel quickly for that first run. Always believe in running the first run quickly. Put pressure on the bats, on the fielding side. So, good over so far. 5 runs coming off the 3 deliveries bowled.
Yeah,
The required run rate 18.88. That's really high.
lovely shot.
Yeah, beautiful. Driven out to mid-off. Straightish extra cover rather. And that went to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Douglas. He timed it well. It was not all power. Beautiful timing. Went through extra cover for 4.
Yeah, good shot played by Douglas. He will need quite a great degree of boundaries, as we see to right just to the see that rain seemed to be coming just at the top there, just to the east.
Yes. Wonder whether it's going to be coming down this area, whether it's going from west to east, or whether it's moving from that northerly area to come down here, which is southward.
Well, the good thing is that we're not seeing any movement by the ground staff, which would indicate that it's going to pass us. Yeah, lovely play down to backward square. Again, it's just a single, and Nutmeg Warriors really would not be too worried about the singles being scored. 17 for 1 after 2 overs.
And they're trying to, I think, Nutmeg Warriors, they've looked up and they've seen the rain in the northern area of the ground, so they're making sure that they change around very quickly between overs. Fletcher, like a village policeman, marshalling his forces and just trying to allow his fielders to be as calm as possible. It is important to keep your nerves when you're in this kind of situation. This is not for the faint-hearted, not for those who've shot up nerves. And Charles just made a ritualistic sign of the cross and would move in to bowl to Douglas, who is 8 of 6. Can this be a pivotal over? Here he is to Douglas. Douglas clips that down to backward square. Footwork down there on the boundary, pulls it back inside. The return comes in, but they come back for the second run.
And that was all good cricket there. A ball pitched up, played off the pad, neatly down to backward square, and the fielder coming around there, just using the feet quickly, and the ball picked up and thrown back to the keeper. It was also good running by Bailey Blasters.
John Charles again in. Slow delivery, well bowled. And into the block hole. Andrew peeling off the glove as he scampered across to his right, the keeper. To his left, beg your pardon, picks up, restricting the batsman to a single. 58 runs needed, 16 legal deliveries to be bowled. The required run rate 21.75. This one is lifted down to the mid-wicket area, and it was maybe parried back in. It was going over the boundary line. And let's just look.
Yeah, that was tremendous work. He actually saved the six as he went up and threw it in.
Great work, really great work down there. And save what would have been 6. Just the 2, I think they got. Looking to swing that through mid-wicket again to repeat the shot.
Yeah, that.
So Bay Blasters struggling a bit here to get boundaries with regularity. It's 21 for 1 in over number 3. It's a Herculean task. It's a tough one. Again, sinking the ball into the leg stump and looking to use the wrist and clip it through mid-wicket. Doesn't make contact. This is good bowling here by the John Charles. Only 4 runs have come off, 5 deliveries so far. So he's done the work well for his skipper, Fletcher. Here's the final delivery coming up in the 3rd over. And almost a nothing shot there with the left hand coming off the bat. Just looked so unenthused there. That's Douglas, 11 of 11. There must be some frustration on his part. And after 3 overs, the Bay Blasters, they are 21 for 1 with the current run rate being exactly 7.
Yeah, they need to do much better than that, really. But it has been good bowling by Charles. We would have seen in the previous game, bringing the ball into the right-handed batter. And this over, they using some variety, but looking to slant it, just to hit the pad. And we saw the batsman, they looking to swing and ball rushing into the pad. And really has been a good over.
57 needed of the final 2 overs. The Ryan is still there. It's almost an impossible task. Here is Toussaint in. Narayan lives that and lives that well over the mid-wicket area, and that's gone all the way for 6. Fine shot. Carry power hit maximum.
Yeah, good short ball, pitch up over pitch. Narayan swinging and hitting it over long on. I just seem to have gone over the fencing. So this one probably ended up in the river.
Yeah, or maybe in the water company premises. So there might be a few balls there that the company may get tomorrow, God's willing.
Yeah, one would think maybe after the game, maybe they probably would have found some of the balls.
And return them, hopefully.
But certainly the amount of sixes, actually it's now about 212 sixes that have been hit in the tournament. And the amount of ball that has been replaced, yeah, certainly would mean that the organizers really had to have enough balls for this tournament.
And there have been more 6s than 4s in the tournament. 27 for 1 over number 4, bowled by Toussaint. He's moving in to bowl to Narayan. Narayan has a big swing at that one. Thought about scampering for a single. Andrew collected behind the stumps and began to run up to the stumps. And of course, seeing that, Douglas sent back Narayan, who made a few exploratory steps down the track. Well bowled. That one is hit straight. over the bowler's head. They're going to come back for the second no. They decide against it. The return comes in. 4 players seeking to back up. There is urgency. Over number 4 in progress, 28 for 1. This is getting out of the reach of Bailey's Blasters. This one swung down to deep mid-wicket. And they get a single. I think Bailey Blasters might well have resigned for what would be a defeat here. Don't think if something spectacular happens that they can retrieve this.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
Ball peeling off the outside edge and goes down to third man for 4.
Yeah, it is a big ask to get up to 78. We are just about the completion of the 4th over. The score being 33. 33 for 1. So quite a long way to go. It has been good bowling by the Nutmeg Warriors. I think that they came out with a plan and they seem to have stuck to that plan. Make it difficult for the Bailey Blasters batsmen.
They've gone for 1. And we'll come back for the second run. Ball hit down to mid-wicket. So 4 overs gone. 35 for 1. And really the current run rate is 8.75. I think it will be nice to see a better effort. Maybe if they had gone maybe at 12 runs per over. But to be 35 for 1 after 4, we'll be disappointed with that refill.
Yeah, they would have wanted a better start. It's 35 for 1 in 4 overs really is not the kind of start you wanted if you're going to get up to what was, in my view, a healthy score, 77 in 5 overs. Really, Nutmeg Warriors, even though they would have lost a wicket in the first over, really would have started off hitting tremendous boundaries. This one go down, first delivery from Fletcher, down the leg side, goes for 4 wides. Yes, there were instances where 3 sixes were hit in succession. That give you an indication of how the Nutmeg Warriors really would have been striking the ball. And to get up to 77, you really had to be clearing the boundary regularly, and which was done by the Nutmeg Warriors.
Delivery by Fletcher just struck down to Charles down there at long on. They get a single. It's 41 for 1. It's the final over. Wide signal by the umpire. Fletcher doesn't seem to be very happy about that. And then finally makes a huge grin.
Might be interesting to see what happened with that delivery. What?
Certainly wasn't a leg spinner. Narayan looking to blast that through the offside, doesn't make contact. Andrew collects behind the stump. So into the final over, ball by Fletcher. And it's going to be called a no ball. Fletcher's bowled a bouncer. It's really interesting.
Yes, and that no ball was called for the second one that
Yes.
seemingly go over the shoulder. It was the right call.
This one is hit down to the long on area. Charles again comes off the boundary and they get a single.
Quite.
Well, will this one go all the way? Yes, it goes all the way carry power maximum, flighted, and he just came forward and lifted it sweetly. So Douglas was a sort of painstaking knock, just released the shackles. Before that, he was 13 or 14. He's now gone to 19 or 14. With that 6, that would help his strike rate quite a bit.
And certainly repeated a hit in this one over long on for another 6, shortish in length. Douglas getting back and really hitting that one cleanly over long on for 6. Probably just a bit too late in terms of the 6 hitting. With just one delivery to go. 56 for 1.
What would he do with this one? Bowl him! Gone comprehensively bowl. And Fletcher's done a little bit of a jig there. So that completes this game today. Bailey Blasters 56 for 2 or 5. So it means that the Nutmeg Warriors, they've won by 21 runs. 21 runs, an emphatic victory here for Nutmeg Warriors against the Bailey Blasters. The final delivery of the match, and Fletcher getting a wicket and then doing a bit of a jig there. What sort of dance was that, Phil?
I'm not so good as that.
So they won by 21 runs, Nutmeg Warriors. And when early on, it really didn't look as if you'll get a match here. Abbreviated version, just 5 overs a piece. And Nutmeg Warriors, they've won quite convincingly, easily, by 21 runs. Will do them good.
Yeah, it has been a good dominant performance by the Nutmeg Warriors. And they would have come in.
Belfort picked up one for 7. And Fletcher picked up that wicket of the last ball, but he was expensive. 1 for 21. Thomas, none for 10. Dillon Charles, none for 4. And Enoch Toussaint, none for 14. But it was, in fact, a very good performance on the part of Nutmeg Warriors bowlers, beg your pardon. Extras 9. And after 5 overs, they restricted their opponents to 56 for 2. Good bowling performance, all in all. Players just doing the usual shake of hands, showing fraternity and camaraderie and sportsmanship as they make their way off the field. Of course, the umpires also involved. But a match that was played in good spirit.
Yeah, and I think generally most of the games we have seen really good spirit being played. I think that both teams were keen to play this game today. Just as we look at the batting, Cotoy was caught by Fletcher, bowled Belfont, and he scored 2 in 5 delivery. Douglas, bowled Fletcher, 25, Narayan not out 20, and the score 56 for 2. But just to go back to the game, I thought it was so important to see that both teams were keen and very interested in making sure that that game played. When one looked back at the amount of rain that we had today, and really didn't give any one of us the indication that they will be played for the rest of the day. But certainly, as the game was shortened, so it was 5 over affair, and we would have seen that Nutmeg Warriors in particular really came out blazing, even though they would have lost the important wicket of Fletcher early. But really took charge, and we see a number of 6s being hit. One can remember 3 6s in succession being hit. So they really took charge and really went after the bowling of Bailey Blasters. And the minute time they get up to 77 in 5 overs, really that was a challenge. And really, I don't think Bailey Blasters really was responded in a way that create any concern, major concern for the Nutmeg Warriors.
Yes, and they came home strong, won convincingly. And if you win by 21, it means that that's a handsome win. It's a huge win with a shortened version like that. So Nutmeg Warriors coming out victorious over the Bailey Blasters. And full credit to the ground staff who did a fantastic job ensuring that the covers came on time and that the square was well covered and well taken care of. And they're doing the same thing because we've got more cricket here tomorrow, God's willing. And sometimes we take it for granted, Raphael, but of course the ground staff, they got such an important responsibility, and without them, we really would not have had a completed match here this afternoon.
Well, you're so right. Without the ground staff, there really would be no cricket. And they really would have done a tremendous job just after the rain
So
to make sure they...
Yes, I think we're ready for the post-match ceremony. Let's go downstairs.
Okay, so I'm here with Micah Narayan. Micah, a shortened version of the game, only 5 overs. Things not really going how you may have wanted it. Tell us about your thoughts on the game.
Well, for today's game, it's gonna be shash. We rain in and out, then we get a 5 over to play. I bowl a very good first over, but them batsman on the side bat right through and give us a competitive total.
All right. The fact that the overs reduced, you have 1 over power play. What did you say to your guys in terms of trying to keep that run rate down?
Well, for we to chase down that 70 yard in 5 overs, you have to maximize on the power play. That didn't happen, and that put us on the back foot.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Micah, as you continue. We'll see where you go from here.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Micah Narayan, the Bailey Blasters captain. We're going to speak to Andre Fletcher, the captain of the Nutmeg Warriors. Andre, a bit of rain curtailed your game plan maybe, but you were still able to muster 72. Tell us about that batting innings.
It was a fantastic batting effort. Posting a total like this, I know it would have been difficult for the batting team to come, but our bowlers executed very well, I must say. The way we started off, couldn't ask for anything better.
All right, so with this sort of display, what is the statement that you're making?
Well, as I mentioned before, we are defending champions. We have to play like defending champions, and it's just trying to get into the playoff, the top 2, and see where it takes us from there.
All right, well, good luck to you. All the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're getting into the presentations, and so I'm going to ask Akisha Belfont to assist with the presentation, and we're going to have the Global Services Inc. Impact Bowler, and that person is none other than Nyron Belfont. All right, Nyron, you had a reduced game. The pressure was on. It's only 5 overs. You had to come off well. Tell us about your trend of thought having that ball in your hand for that specific over.
Well, always a game like that, do expect it will be challenging. But I back myself. I come and deliver with my experience. I come and deliver with my silver balls.
All right, Nairon, well, you really did well to help to curtail the scoring. Tell the Nutmeg Warriors fans something about what your intention is going through the tournament.
One thing, don't give up on us. We're going to do it for you. I promise you that.
All right, so there you had it. That was Nairon Belfort. He promises that he will deliver. Thank you very much, Nairon. We are continuing with the presentation, and we're going to present the Carib Power Hitter. And Ms. Belfort is going to present to Dejon Charles, today's Carib Power Hitter. And he's also the man of the match, so we will speak to him after. And he receives his award, man of the match, for this match. Dejon, I am speaking to you quite frequently these days. Another man of the match performance. Tell us about the reduced game and how your mindset in terms of your batting and your bowling.
It's obviously a normal cricket game. Obviously, when you're starting to bat, you have to assess the wicket first and then choose who you want to go after. Obviously, I came off today and it worked for my team.
All right. With the ball, the pressure was on because you bowling very early. Your over would be a critical over. Tell us about the trend of thought. What is it that your plans were in terms of trying to restrict?
Was obviously what the skipper wanted. He just wanted me to bowl into the batter spot, and I think I executed that very well today.
All right. Well, you have done really well. I want you to just speak to your Nutmeg Warriors fans right now. Tell them what your intentions are for the rest of the tournament.
My intention obviously is for us to win the tournament, most important, and try to get most valuable player for the tournament.
All right, so there we had it. That was Dejon Charles. In this rain-shortened version, we had 5 overs. The Nutmeg Warriors, they came up trumps, and they will be increasing their points. So we are at the end of yet another day. I will send you back up to Stevenson and Raphael. They will give you the feature for the next few days to come.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going high.